Is everyone ready for yet another Bedrock match? Cause I sure as hell am. Because after this exact match, we won't have any more of them until Friday the 13th. What a lucky day for some, what an unlucky day for others. Today, we bring you an excellent match between the lucky ones and Placeholder. That's how the other team is called. And another thing I wanted to tell you is that this match will determine who will be the rival of the Dragons. I'm pretty sure some of you have watched the match between the Unks and the Dragons. Well, this match will determine who will get to fight the Dragons in the quarterfinals. This is part of our European Asian bracket, and we have some pretty strong contenders. The full lineups are in the live stream's description, as you may know. But here are the 4 players that have joined. For the lucky ones, we have Vatiblum U, we have DeathMeat07, we have LollyGameGHG, and we have VitorOliMac. Pretty familiar names. If you've been in the Screen community, I personally know some of them. They are very strong players. Now, the first map that will be played is gonna be food, and that's gonna be a really great way to start off this round 2 match in an excellent map that is food. Now we have to wait up to see who will be joining from Placeholder. We're still waiting the 4 teammates from Placeholder. They will be here anytime soon. And they also look fantastic. They look pretty great. Strong contenders indeed. We're gonna have one hell of a match before we have to be a week without any Bedrock or Jama matches until Friday 13 at least. So, placeholder have arrived with qLewiss, Jxhod, CoolRoyBoy, and zEleqtra representing placeholder. All of our 8 players are finally here. We shall begin this pretty soon. Let us see who will get to win this match and qualify for the quarterfinals. They look like they are gonna give us a really strong match. Maybe we might have another round 3. Another game 3 match. Who knows? It's a quick look of the pre-lobby. These are our 8 players, along with our hosts, our fellow hosts. It's one Hamoud, and of course we cannot forget about Lyra. She's somewhere here, but there we go. She's there. Climbing the parkour, of course. They are helping me host this match, and thanks to them, we can bring it to you right now only on qCraft League. We shall begin this pretty soon. Let's wish them good luck to everyone here. Lucky ones versus placeholder. Let's see who gets to be in the quarterfinals in a match against the Dragons. With nothing else to say, we shall begin this right away once everyone's ready. Looks like we're taking a bit longer to start despite the pre-lobby already having 8 players. I wonder what's going on, but fret not, we won't take any longer this time. We're starting now. You hear those ticks? It's game time! And here we are. This is food. From this side we have the lucky ones, and from this other side we have Placeholder. We shall begin this right away with that mid-07 making that bridge for the lucky ones. Of course they have that 20 cobblestone that their teammates gave them. They're the first ones to reach the diamonds. qLewiss also reaches the diamonds as well. We have our first fight here between LollyGameGHG and zEleqtra. Of course, LollyGame was the first one to take those diamonds. Electra will try to impede the LollyGame from returning those diamonds to base. LollyGame tries to run away, but unfortunately falls off a bridge and loses the diamonds that are so important later on. So far we can see their diamond gen is at level 1, that's pretty weak, as we see that Placeholder are dominating mid right now. Lucky ones have no choice but to try again, but qLewiss is blocking the way. Looks like VitorOliMac tried blocking Lewis' bridge towards Orange Island, as we have a bridge fight that ends with Lewis falling to the void. VitorOliMac reaches the mid, but Jxhod was already waiting for them. LollyGame climbs up the burger and up the bridge that Vatiblum already made in an attempt to get Blue's egg. Of course, that attempt didn't come to fruition as Vatiblum has to retreat for now. Here we have LollyGameGHG falling on top of Jxhod. It's a 2v1 here, Jxhod trying their best to block them. Jxhod falls to the lower mid. It looks like zEleqtra will try for orange egg once again. Pretty quick rush strategy from both teams. We can see that none of them are trying to gear up first of all. That's a fireball that almost gets Electra off the bridge, but they managed to clutch pretty well. And we can see that me trying to shoot Electra off that bridge. Electra has to run away because they are not fully ready to take Orange's egg. Everyone's there right now. Electra so close from the edge and finally falls through the void by Vatiblum U. It's time for the lacking ones to come back to mid, maybe try for that dead once again as VitorOliMac prepares another bridge, accompanied by Vatiblum U, of course. VitorOliMac drops the TNT that's so close to Electra and CoolRoyBoy and takes the chance to attempt to box in. But of course he is being attacked by CoolRoyBoy and Jxhod and finally perishes. Another attempt that was closer this time, but didn't come to fruition once again as Vatiblum U is also killed. LollyGameGHG wants to try for that egg, even though they are alone right now, but they are at least better prepared this time. zEleqtra goes for the diamonds, while VitorOliMac watches carefully, decides to jump down and take the diamond gems. They couldn't take back when the game started, of course. Level 3 diamond over here. Lewis and Jxhod already fully geared up. Electra has to do the same, of course. That means 07 already heading for the blue egg once again. Fireballs Lewis, but Lewis clutches and even goes to the higher bridge. Then later fall and get dead meat off the way. That fireball didn't go so wrong, didn't go so right, I mean. It definitely backfired. As blue team now are pushing together. Electra leading the way. We can see a fireball right there that almost took Electra out. A platform is being made. Looks like there have to be some TNT drops. No, that it's not happening. Electra boxes in while nobody from Orange was looking. And that's how the orange egg is gone. Because you always have to watch carefully up who's gonna fall, what the other team is gonna do in case of those high bridge. And even though they managed to take Electra out, the egg is permanently gone, and they'll have to try to turn their game around without that. Of course, Lewis is holding them back with the bow. As Lewis prevents Orange from pushing any further, now that they are perfectly vulnerable. And in this exact position, trying to go through the bridge to the mid would be really risky. They'll have no choice but to try to gear up with their only diamond gem. Vatiblum U is doing that already. That mid is trying to get Lewis off that cupcake building. Looks like if they'll want to get out of here, they need either a peril, an ender peril, or a leaf feather. Either of those things could work right now. But those are expensive, of course. Fight going on 13 minutes until deathmatch. Can't believe 7 minutes have already passed. Pretty quickly. That means 07 tries to shoot. They hit Lewis twice. They hit them 3 times. Both fight between Deadmeat and 07 and Lewis. LollyGame tries to make a wall to take cover, of course. Lewis is definitely doing a good job at keeping Orange in their island so that their team can gain some time and gear up even better than them now they have access to the mid diamonds, which of course Electra is collecting this very moment. We might even go into deathmatch because of how long this is taking right now. Orange have no way of getting to mid unless they can, of course, peril or get a leap feather and leave towards the lower mid, which we have seen so many times already. Either that or Lewis runs out of arrows, which might seem the case, given how many arrows they shot. Maybe not yet. I'll have to hope for that instead, that Lewis runs out of arrows, and they can at least try to go to mid. Vatiblum, you and LollyGameGHG take the plunge. ZEleqtra blocks Vatiblum from going to the other island. Vatiblum, you has no choice but to try to go through the lower mid, while VitorOliMac traverses the high bridge with a leap that saves them from impending doom. They finally box in, but CoolRoyBoy broke that obsidian pretty quickly. They definitely have that fast pick. Well, an excellent defense from blue team as they do everything to protect their egg. VitorOliMac unfortunately has to retreat. What we have here, VitorOliMac being comboed by Jxhod. They try to leave, they clutch for a moment, but they could not avoid the Jxhod comboing them back into the void. That's 2 eliminations because Vatiblum unfortunately perished. The WAF here is Deathmeat07 trying to return to the base island. While over here in this bridge, LollyGame is being chased by Jxhod. That's a helmet pop. Pretty fatal when you're being 2v1, as we can see here already. It now all depends on Deathmeat07. As Deathmeat07 bypasses the entire blue team, but Jxhod leaps and blocks the way. Failed leap that brings Lucky Ones to their first defeat in this match. Which means we're heading on to game 2 with Placeholder winning already. And of course, with a score of 1-0 on both eggs and games for Placeholder. You gotta say, it wasn't the kind of equal match that we were expecting. All I could see is that Placeholder have definitely dominated the entire game. Those bow shots from Lewis have definitely helped in getting their team geared up. As we can see, when you don't have control of the mid, you don't have control of the game, pretty much. We shall see what may happen in the second game, but for now, Placeholder are winning. Now please stand by as we get the second game started up. We will let you know when this happens. And we have the second game started up. We shall see who will be representing their team at this very moment, with the lucky ones joining the game first and Placeholder joining second. We will see if there will be any swaps. Remember that the full lineups are in the description. Those are the players that are confirmed to show up for this game, for this match. Doesn't mean that they will show up, but that they are available, of course. That's what the lineups mean. And what else can I say? That the second game will be in beach. So, for the lucky ones, we have Jxhod 2487, Vatiblum U, LollyGameGHG and VitorOliMac. We have a swap right there. We have a swap, and if I remember pretty well, who was swapped in that from the first game? Well, I cannot remember right now, but there's a swap. Ujo2487 joins in for the second game. In replacement of, if I can call correctly, Deadmeat07. That's who will have to sit out for this first game. And now we can see that the placeholder have joined. So far we don't have any changes. qLewiss, Jxhod, CoolRoyBoy, and zEleqtra are joining in for the second game, so there are no swaps from the placeholders. There is one swap from the lucky ones. Ujo2487 replaces Deadmeat07 in this second game. That, I repeat, will be in Beach. Here's the pre-lobby right now. Here's how it's looking like with its 8 players and of course the 2 hosts. It's Wantamut and Lyra for helping me getting this set up. Many thanks to the entire staff team, of course, for those who have joined me in those CubeCraft League matches. And we should not be waiting any longer until the second game finally starts, which I remind you will be in Beach. So that's gonna be an interesting game. Quite similar to Foot, if I could say that, but Beach only has one mid, and it's a pretty small mid. It's not like Foot, which is longer and has that lower area which you can fall into. Well, without any further ado, we shall begin right away. And well, that happened. There we go. From this side we have the lucky ones, from this other side we have Placeholder. Let's the games begin. VitorOliMac and LollyGameGHG already making that bridge towards mid, but Lewis already arrived before. So far we can see that the only one who actually bought some armor was Jxhod. Orange team will have to cover that egg quickly in Obsidian, but I do not think we will have any rush at the moment. Well, at least as long as Vatiblum manages to block Electra and Jxhod, because Electra is going to attempt for that egg already pretty quickly. Let's see if they have bought that diamond pickaxe that they need. Electra already heading for Ujo, who is chasing them. Jxhod blocks the way. Ujo has no choice but to return. Once again, we can see that blue team is pretty much dominating the mid, just like in the first game. Let's see if they have taken at least a chance of gaining the level 1 diamond gem. They did. So there's that. Electra already battling Vatiblum along with Jxhod. LollyGame tries to help, but they are definitely outnumbered. Lewis manages to knock one of them, even though VitorOliMac took the kill for some reason. Let's see what level their gen is. Also level 1. Shouldn't take long for that to be level 3. Have another fight here. Louis chasing Vatiblum with the help of Jxhod. Vatiblum has no choice but to climb up. And obviously Louis is gonna deliver the final blow that knocks them out for now. LollyGameGHG already making that bridge towards blue. zEleqtra already geared up pretty well. Louis making the tower to reach LollyGame. LollyGameGHG tries to reach Louis but unfortunately fail. Now Louis takes the chance to deliver some combos to LollyGame. And LollyGame unfortunately was killed once again. Electra now closer to the egg than ever. Even though Vatiblum is trying to get them off. Firewall to try to get Electra to the void. Electra will now try again. The entire orange team is here defending the egg. Observing what Electra may do at this very moment. Vatiblum already goes forward. Looks like Vatiblum will just go instead for the mid. That's one void to VitorOliMac, who's knocked off the bridge. Electra leaps forward to the egg, attempts to box in, but unfortunately was prevented from doing so. With that, 5 minutes have passed. Ujo 2487 already on that bridge, gets knocked off by zEleqtra, but doesn't fall to the void. zEleqtra once again boxes in. Orange team wasn't quick enough to prevent that this time. And with that, they have to accept that the egg is gone, and as they prepare for a counter-attack. Possible counter-attack, obviously. zEleqtra finally removes the orange egg. And if they do not come back at this very moment, it could mean the demise of the lucky ones. zEleqtra returns to mid with the accomplishment of having broken the orange egg twice. Vatiblum obviously follows them, but we have Louis aiming at them, trying to get them off that bridge. zEleqtra tries to follow Vatiblum. That was one attempt to getting them off that bridge. Vatiblum keeps moving forward. Jxhod already prepares. Climbs up even higher than Vatiblum, of course. But Vatiblum leaps forward. But they could not box in as Jxhod kicks them off the game for good. It could have been a great attempt from Vatiblum that unfortunately did not succeed. LollyGameGHG is pretty much chased by almost the whole team. VitorOliMac and Jxhod helping them. But instead it's VitorOliMac and Jxhod who are being chased. Jxhod and Electra chasing Jxhod relentlessly. Over here we have Louis comboing VitorOliMac, getting closer to the void. And that's the final blow that gets VitorOliMac off the game for good. Jxhod unfortunately perished. It's now up to LollyGameGHG. The entire team's hope is now resting upon them. As Louis and Electra approach the orange team island. LollyGame is fully surrounded. Jxhod leaps forward to block the way, and with this, folks, LollyGameGHG is finally eliminated, and Placeholder move on to the quarterfinals. We will be having a legendary match between Placeholder and Dragons in the quarterfinals. Impeccable 2-0 result on both XN score that moves Placeholder on to the quarterfinals. GG's to everyone. I expected a more equal match between those two teams, knowing that they had great players. But Placeholder played their cards really well and managed to sweep through. Absolutely nice game from Placeholder. They have played very well. Nice attempt from Lucky Ones, but unfortunately it couldn't be. We will be seeing Placeholder versus the Dragons in the quarterfinals. That's our first confirmed matchup in the next round. And with that, folks, unfortunately we will not be seeing each other in at least 6 days, because the next match, the next confirmed match, will be on Friday 13. But fret not, as we have Friday 13 prepared for you with a Bedrock and a Java match. Hashira versus Paragon in round 2 for Bedrock, and Pan versus the Forgotten Nerds in the quarterfinals of Java. Until then, we will see you there. Good night, everyone.